Welcome back, everybody, to the Dane TV Little Multi-League Cup Series action here at the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the booth with Mike James from up and eastbound on the Rock up there in Canada somewhere. Mikey, how we doing tonight? What's on the go?
It's Bristol, baby, and it's going to be exciting here tonight. I'm super stoked about this one, you know. It's playoff time, and it's nice to see someone up in the front on the pole, the 41, Wesley Holland, doing a great job here in the qualifier. The spam machine, we've been talking about that one, makes you hungry, right? So we're going to get set to go. Green flag as those lights are out on the pace car, and the 41 is going to opt for the top side here on the start with Widener on the bottom.
That's the way to go in a lot of the short track races we've seen all week long here on Dane TV. And there we go. Green flag in the air. Wesley Holland gets the jump that he needs. Puts himself a few car lengths out in front of Charles Widener there in the spam ride. Single file already. Scott Patton there in the 46. Back in a third position. Back to the blue and white colors there. The 30 car, Ken Huber, holding on to the fourth position as well.
Yeah, Huber lost his spot there as Patton tries to wheel up to the front here. He's got a lot of clean air. Last week led pretty much the whole thing. I believe he led the whole bloody race. So looking for the front wheels. Keep an eye on that 46. He's a man on a mission right here. But great to be here at the great half mile here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's going to be a wild night, 120 laps on the board. 3 already completed, and Wesley Holland in the 41 controlling this one. Your top 4 right now is Widener, Patton, and Huber in your 2, 3, 4 spot behind Holland.
All the drivers starting to get single file here. A little conveyor belt action, except for Scott Patton taking a peek down low on Widener. Going to try and get that position and slide himself into the number 2 spot, and there he goes. Has the momentum, but here comes Widener back on the outside, trying to hold on to that position, and we can already see many drivers up on that top side trying to make the magic happen. We've heard from many drivers here, Darlington, Richmond, Bristol, over the past couple of weeks here on Dane TV. The high side is quicker in most cases, but it'll burn up that right rear tire very quickly, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on.
Watching the bird eye view there, we're seeing a little bit of a line there from Widener, or actually Patton there. It looks like he's gained a little bit of speed to the bottom. He's kind of working the bottom and tucking back up there. But huge pass on that 95. But look who's coming. That is one of our top contenders right there in the 4th spot right now in the red, white, and blue. Taking a big spot there. That is, help me out here, buddy.
Yeah, Jeff Merck there in the Skeeter Boats number 60 car. And you can see he's got that red banner above the windshield as he takes a look down low on Scott Patton for second. He might get 2 for 1 here. Right up to the door. Wesley Holland doesn't quite have enough juice to get around him, but he's going to take another stab at it here, and that's a big, fast race car to go from 4th to almost 1st in about a lap and a half.
Well, he's doing the same thing that we've seen with Scott Patton, kind of drifting down to the bottom and weaving right back up to the top. Looks like they're carrying a lot of speed into the. Jeff Merck doing a great job picking up those spots, and he's done a fab job over the last 6 weeks. And even before that, he's a top 10 contender here tonight, and looks like he will challenge for that lead on Wesley Holland. The 41 is going to try to hold him off, but we're seeing some great speed here in the midline to the bottom here and drifting up into the corners.
Still side by side for the lead. Jeff Merck, a little bit of an advantage that time coming out of turn number 2. As he gets into 3, you can see he kind of moves up the track just a little bit to try and pinch off Wesley Holland. He could give that lap to him that time by, but we're still side by side as they go into 1 and 2.
Yeah, Merck's going to take this one away from the 41. He's going to try to go door to door with him here and fight back, but you got to kind of pick your battles here. 13 laps completed at 120. Still plenty of time here, but obviously clean air is always the best air.
And this is exactly what Scott Patton wants to see. He's able to study these 2 leaders in front of him. That's our points leader, the 46 car there in P3. And we do have to correct everybody on the points standings. We were under the assumptions that if you win, you're in on to the next round. But that is, in fact, not the case here with the Multi-League Cup Series. It's strictly based on points. So whatever the points look like at the end of the 3 rounds, those top drivers move on to the next round. So in this case, we got the top 16 drivers fighting for 12 positions. The 12 guys in the highest in points after the end of tonight's race will move on to next week, and that gives us the opportunity to look at the points and see who's in and who's well, they're not going to be going home, but they're still going to be racing, just not for a championship. And next week, kicking off the round number 2, we're going to have a half-hour pre-race show before the race itself, so be sure to tune in 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Scott Patton and myself will be manning that pre-race show, and Jeff Merck's still trying to get up and around Wesley Holland here. Wesley doing a great job holding on to that high side, but you got to bet, Mike, he's probably burning up that right rear.
Contact with the 41 as he tried to get down there. He got into Merck, and he's going to be all out of shape right now, losing spots and almost into Scott Patton. I think there was some contact. Could be some damage to the splitter on the front of the 46. But big upset as the 41 came into contact with Merck, and Merck now controlling this one out front with ease. Look at this, Huber, the cat machine in P2, in the hunt here tonight, doing a wonderful job staying with the leaders here.
Yeah, having a good solid run on that Caterpillar number 30 car, and that 41 of Wesley Holland after getting sideways there still holds on to the 4th position. And that was a big move, especially with the banking here at Bristol Motor Speedway. That's one of the things you don't want to do. You want to make sure that nose and the wheel are pointed in the right direction, especially here at Bristol. And to be able to save that for the 41 car is definitely big news. And you made mention a little bit of contact there with with Scott Patton in the 46, knocks him back to 5th. But everything is right in the world. Everybody holding on to it. We stay clean and green, working lap number 23.
These guys got to be careful here tonight if it's going to be a long run. We've seen a lot of races with these guys without cautions. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on pit road activity and what is the strategy into this. Where do you think in short run? Where do you think in long run? So it's going to be a while. 124 going into the 25 laps of 120 here. It's ticking off pretty fast here. This one could end pretty soon.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of fuel mileage races lately here on Badane TV as well, and drivers missing the finish by a couple of laps by miscalculations, and that's one of the things here. If you don't have a crew chief sitting in your ear not yelling at you technically, but telling you what the fuel mileage is doing, and you're trying to do it from the cockpit of the car, it's definitely very difficult. And most of these drivers are doing it solo. They do have teammates that they kind of work with, and it's really tough to do the fuel mileage, especially here at Bristol, because you figure it's only a half-mile racetrack. If you've got enough fuel for maybe a mile and a half or just shy of that, that could be 2 laps, could be 3 laps. It all depends on how hard you race and how much you're able to save.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to take you away from the race action just for a second here. Paul, have you ever been to Bristol?
I have not. I've never been there. It's on the list.
God, dude, it's got to happen next year. I'll make sure we got VIP, and I'll make sure we're on pit road. But I visited there last time I was there, 2016. and unbelievable. It's crazy how the haulers actually get into with the high banks here at Bristol. It's absolutely an incredible facility. It's so surreal when you walk into this. You said the last great Coliseum, and it sure is, man. To be there at a live show with a sold out crowd at Bristol is just going to be incredible. So looking forward to this weekend, and that's why I'm so pumped here tonight for the Multi League. It's always a little taste of what you're going to see this weekend with Xfinity and the Cup Series. It'll be interesting to see what goes down this weekend.
100%. And speaking of Bristol, you guys have a little bit of representation in the Cup race this weekend, don't you?
Saturday, we're going to be riding along with the number 12 Team Penske, Ryan Blaney in the Menards Ford. He's going to be throwing the Eastbound International Speedway banner on the C-pillar on the back. So we're going to be riding along with Ryan Blaney. So it's the first time I've been on a Cup car, so it's going to be pretty exciting to watch. And, I sent him a message. I said, dude, if you bring it to Checkers, we're going to have some kitchen party.
100%. And I almost made one of my old logos on a Cup car working with Landon Castle about 10 years ago. Handed him an X-Lander design sticker. Say, bud, what do you say we put this on the car? Yeah? He says, yeah, sure, $6,000. It's like, okay. It's like, I got about $12 for a burger, so...
I got away easy. I had to give up sexual favors. I'm just joking.
Whatever works. Taking a peek here, Battle for 6 is starting to heat up. Scott Patton sliding backwards. We might have a little bit more damage on the nose of that car. Ben, we think, dropping back now to 7th and under attack from 8th there. James Lehman in the 05 in the Valvoline machine. There you can see the regular series champion, Berg Markheim, in the 33, holding on to the 6th spot. And Michael Milfeld Jr. in this pack as well in the 123 car. So a little bit of action here about mid-pack or so. Still 23 drivers in the race, 20 drivers on the lead lap. David Schreck in the 9 car, the last car rather, on the lead lap.
We're taking a peek right now of James Lehman, who's always wicked fast, and always a pleasure to talk to him when he gets a podium finish. Be interested to see what he has for us for that Valvoline. Is it the 05? Is it?
The 05, yep. One of the good-looking race cars here.
Glasses.
Gotta get glasses. Gotta get bigger text here in the scoring and timing. Couple of updates we need to get ourselves taken care of here for Vinane, but we'll make the magic happen and entertain the masses as we do. But there's that side-by-side battle. Scott Patton going up on that high side, really making it work for him. And I'd definitely be curious as he gets up to the back bumper there of Kim Quick in the 21 car. One lap down, so that is not for position. A little struggling with the handling of the 21 car there. But the 46, Scott Patton, woo, big wiggle. Doing an awesome job in the points. He's got about 173 wins this season, just winning all the races. Won last week here at Darlington, I believe. Might have to double check on that. There's a smudge in my notes. But in any sense, still leading the points heading into the final race of this very first round of the playoffs. Feeling very good about his chances going into the next round as well as into the championship coming up here in a couple of weeks' time here on Vinane TV. And we're going to be talking to Scott. We may very well be talking to him tonight if we get him up to the podium, but definitely going to be talking to him early next week, 8 p.m. Eastern time, the pre-race show presented by Patented Paints. And caution flag out on the speedway. We saw one car out of shape, rather. I want to say it might have been the 111. But we'll see if we can pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay and give you exactly what happened.
I just got a text that Brandon Campbell just arrived in Bristol and wanted to know if he could join us.
Who?
Brandon Campbell.
Yeah, Brandon, a good friend of ours. We can get tell him to get on the old TeamSpeak, and we can get him fired up here in the booth. We'll get him a booster seat, and he can sit right up here and call some racing action here with us.
A dumb tit.
Yeah, exactly. But here we go. We got the Kong Beer Bong instant replay here. Going to focus in on that 111 car. Bounces off the wall. Bounces into the 41 car. Wesley Holland in big contact with the wall there. Not good for that 41 car. Lots of damage on the nose. That's the former leader of the race kind of slipping on back. That's a tough break for the 41 and the 111. Looks like they both were able to grab a gear and get driving away, but caution flag flies here at Bristol.
Well, we talked about that. Would we see a long, long run? 45 laps is a long run without caution. So strategy in play as we take a peek at Merck and the rest of the boys now heading down pit road here. See what strategy they have. I would say those outside tires are a little bit cooker as we get to the 1/3 mark.
And you can see everybody coming down pit road at this point. Everybody on the lead lap coming down to get 4 tires and Sunoco race fuel. And we're not quite halfway, so this is going to be interesting here with the fuel tanks in these Cup cars. I don't know if they'll be able to make it on fuel, but you can guarantee, Mikey, somebody's going to try it.
Yeah, let's see what happens here for the race off pit road. Merck's going to maintain that lead. Let's talk about picks here tonight, Paul. We've gotten to see quite a bit of multi-league here in 2021. Who do you got here for Bristol?
Oh, that's tough. I think I'm going to go with the 30 of Ken Huber. Running up in the top 5 right now. Great pit stop just recently, 14.3 seconds on the stopwatch, and gives him the 3rd place run right now. I think that Caterpillar car is going to be up there in victory lane here tonight.
I'm going to go with Andrew Schulte, who picked up a massive amount of space there on that last pit run. So we'll go with the cornflakes. I've been three times now. We had him in the podium several times. Had some big monster runs. Almost took a win one night. So let's see if we can get those cornflakes up to the front of the pack.
Well, you just keep your cornflakes out of my Caterpillar machineries, and we'll be all right.
Don't go pissing in my cornflakes.
Jeff Merckx still your leader, following up, gathering the rest of the field here behind the pace car. Lights are still on. May get lights off this time by, depending on how saucy the pace car drivers feel. And there we go. Lights are off on the pace car, getting ready to go green one more time.
I love saucy pace car drivers.
I've never actually met one in real life.
Oh, man. We had a long story.
We'll say that.
It was a bad situation with a pace car. All right, we're getting set to go here. 48 laps completed. Great run to start this off. It's been all Jeff Merck here. He had the birthday a couple weeks ago. Birthday boy on a win. So let's see what he has for us tonight. He gets a great shot out of the cannon. Opens up the door for the 95. The spam machine takes full advantage, and now is going to find himself in P2 as Huber fights at the bottom to try to maintain that position.
And there you see already pulling away in that 60 car, but the battle is for second. You can see a gaggle of cars back there holding on to the position, and Scott Patton already moving his way up. Those 4 fresh tires making him feel like Superman, moving into the 4th position already, trying to get by Widener there in 3rd.
Patton doing a wonderful job on the bottom, but he's real loose and he's lost control. And here comes Andrew Schulte to the top. Oh, man, big upset for the 46. Looked like he had a strong run there to try to take a couple positions, but now is going to fight back here as we go 2 wide. Schulte and as well as James Lehman. Lehman fighting at the bottom right now. One thing we haven't talked about lately, Paul, is merchandise. The Dane TV official merchandise. I want to add a new T-shirt to the lineup.
We can do that. What have you got in mind?
A gaggle of cars.
A gaggle of cars. A tangly gaggle of cars.
Yeah,
Be sure
only on Vidane TV.
That's right. Vidane.shop is the website. Pick up your Vidane TV merchandise, hats, sweatshirts, T-shirts, all that good stuff. We got Angry Tree Guy merch. We got Run a Race Car merch. We got Clear by 7 merch. Heck, we even got John Adams T-shirts. If you wanted to check those out, www.vidane.shop. Get yourself some merchandise and let everybody know that you're entertained here by Vidane TV. And, well, heck, while we're talking about it, be sure to get us on all the social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff. Got a lot of stuff going on here. TikTok. Got a lot of stuff going on here coming up in the fall and the winter months. So be sure to check that out. Get all the updates, get all the news, get all the racing action here on Vidane TV. And speaking of action, looks like Scott Patton cleared the cobwebs out. He slides on around that spam machine into the 3rd position. He's now setting his sights on my pick, Ken Huber, for 2nd.
46 Scott Patton is not shy. You can't shake him too much. He did get loose there, but he's now gathered himself up and now going back to where he was just a couple of laps ago, really trying to push him right now. But look at this, James Lehman launching the 05, the Valvoline to the bottom, picks up a spot and comes in hot. And we got a 5-way dance for the front here.
Absolutely. Everybody lined up single file in those front 5 cars here, and very exciting for Bristol this weekend. You've got, we've actually both got a little bit of connections to Bristol this weekend. Technically, Eastbound Sports, Eastbound Park rather, going to be on the number 12 Ford of Ryan Blaney in the Cup race on Saturday night, and I believe the truck race is Friday night. One of our hometown heroes here at Stafford Motor Speedway, he's going to be in the number 24 truck. Very excited to see Doug Kobe pilot the red, white, and blue machine. An awesome showing in the SRX debut at Stafford Motor Speedway, winning the feature. And man, I got to tell you, Mikey, at Stafford Motor Speedway, there was over 10,000 people there chanting out Kobe, Kobe, Kobe after he won. Awesome to see a hometown hero win the race, get a shot in the big time and the big stage at Bristol Motor Speedway in the trucks. Very cool to see. Going to be very excited to check that out.
Doug Kobe spent a lot of time down in Charlotte with the Whelen All-American Series, as well as the Whelen Modifieds, as well as the now Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series. But the banquet at Charlotte was always a bit of a tangly situation, as it always ended at Dale Jr.'s bar. And I don't know if I can remember too much of it, but Doug Kobe was there, and it was a bit wild. We had a girl from Alaska on the mechanical bull. That's about all I can remember.
So, do you fly down, or are you driving down? Can I catch a ride to the championships next year?
Well, they canceled the banquet this year, which is a real bummer. I just got the email. So, Charlotte's always been a big deal at the end of the year. You come down there just before Christmas, and you're there with the trucks, the Xfinity Series, Euro, Mexico, the Pinty Series, as well as the Advanced Auto Tracks and the Modified. So, I mean, you can't ask for a better party when you put all that into the blender.
100%, and it's funny, I can't remember what documentary I was watching or what YouTube clip I was watching, but back when Dale Jr. was sponsored by Budweiser, they'd actually have Budweiser trucks drop off beer at his house on the stop for all, like, with all, it was a package store, bar, Dale Jr.'s house. And they would every single week a truckload of beer, and the distributors got kind of irritated. So what's happening? Are you selling it? And I think they went to the team owner, and the team owner's like, no, he's drinking it.
It reminds me of my college days. We used to do pig roasts and hot tubs and 20 tons of sand at the bar. And Molson, or Coors Light and Molson used to give me 50 dozen beer a week for all these parties we used to put off. And at one point, I think I had 600 dozen beer, and pretty much I was the most popular person in college because everybody would come to my house on a Friday to grab a case of beer.
That's what it's all about.
That's a true story.
Starting to sound a little bit like Stafford Motor Speedway on the fall final weekends and the spring sizzler weekend. A little bit weird this year. They're only doing one-day shows. The modifieds and the open-wheel cars are one night, and then the closed-body cars, the street stocks, late models, limited late models, all going to be the following. Little tangly situation there. Getting some Kellogg's spilt out the window there in front of Vern Markheim, but holding on to it. But yeah, Stafford Speedway, usually always a good time. It's going to be up there with representing Bedane TV. We're on all the rent-a-race cars there in the street stocks. We're hooked up on the late model with Corey Casagrande as well, the 7CT ride, who's had a pretty good season. Been all over the East Coast and had a little bit of representation up in the Oxford 250 here a few weeks ago too. So really looking forward to myself getting to the racetrack. Working this third shift stuff is in real life, so to speak. Kind of put a hamper on my real racing designs, but that's going to be changing here in the future. A little battle for seventh, though. Wesley Holland getting up and around Vern Markheim, barely able to slide up in front of him. Lap number 75 in the books. These guys know that it's time to crank up the wick.
Well, we've seen how fast the first 40 laps when that caution came out. We're 30 laps into this one, green flag after that first caution, so we're going to probably see these guys on pit road one more time. Will it happen under green flag situation, or will we see that caution come out in the late parts of this game here? James Lehman, we talked about him earlier, the 05 Valvoline, doing a wonderful job now in P3, about 2 seconds behind our leader, Jeff Merck. Biggest battle right now is the lead, about a half a second, but Merck's continuing to throw down here as they come up on some lap traffic. Lap traffic is now starting to play a factor for Ken Huber as now he starts to slip back quite a bit here, about 7/10 of a second behind the 80 machine of Merck. Ooh. Hold on.
Slicing and dicing his way through the lap traffic here, and the 60 of Jeff Merck already has about a half-second lead or so, but Ken Huber in a second still has to go through the same amount of traffic, and you can see they're not quite fighting to stay on the lead lap, but they're not just pulling over, and that's definitely something the drivers want to keep in mind, especially here at Bristol. Once the leader gets up to the back end of the field, really going to be picking these drivers up and putting them down. Kyle Chadwick making the trip down pit road, it looks like, in the 88 car, and we just saw drivers getting passed for the lead 58 car of Jason Hughes, going to be the last car on the lead lap in 15th.
Well, I get annoyed when I got a buddy who likes F1 or whatever, and they make fun of NASCAR, left, and they don't even realize that we do a lot of road course. But you take one of those F1 drivers and put them at Bristol on this high bank and have to weave in and out of this lap traffic. I can tell you, these guys got some amazing skills here in the multi-league as well as the Cup and Xfinity and trucks. It's amazing to see the driver capability of these guys at these high speeds trying to weave in and out of lap traffic as we see Ken Huber now getting clear of that lap traffic, but he has lost 2 seconds here, Paul. That's a huge advantage right now of the 60 of Merck. Merck has now set sails with lots of clean air and will probably be up on some lap traffic in just a moment.
Yeah, a lot of times the second place driver has a little bit of an advantage when it comes to lap traffic. A lot of the drivers up towards the back of the pack pushing very, very hard to try and stay on the lead lap, but once they get passed by that leader, if the second place driver comes up, they'll usually just let him on by. No sense to fight if you're already a lap down at that point. But Jeff Merck really picking him up, putting him down, and he's slicing through this lap traffic. There's that 58 SRX machine. He's going to pull on down to the inside and let the leader go by. That's going to give us 14 cars now on the lead lap. Brian Abbott in the 82, the next one to potentially go a lap down. But Ken Huber still struggling to try and close this gap. Jeff Merck really lit the fire underneath that race car. He is going bad fast here, working lap number 88.
Yeah, and something may change here. We will definitely see another pit road stop here before we get to the 120, unless he's got something up his sleeve and he's going to take the distance here and work those 4 tires. But we're seeing a lot of blue flags now on the track as the leaders start coming up through. We're taking a peek right now at the 46. It's Scott Patton, who's in a mix of lap traffic right now. What a wall of cars as they continue to try to come up through. Andrew Schultz doing a great job there. Now we're getting clear. He's going to head on with the 05 of Lehman as they try to set sails here, but they're about 6 seconds behind our leader right now. So Jeff Merck is in a great position. Will pit road change that storyline?
If there was ever a good example of a tangling section of cars, this would definitely be it. You're looking at about 4th on back through 8th, with about 4 or 5 lap cars mixed in here as well, and everybody trying to hold on to position, hold on to that good real estate on the racetrack. And you can see there's really 2 defined lines here at Bristol here tonight on the iRacing service. Just coming out with an update here a couple of weeks ago, and some of the drivers struggling to kind of pick it up over the past couple of weeks here in multi-league, and as well as the other leagues we run here on Verdane TV as well. But it seems like the Highline had the advantage on fresher tires, but now that we're about getting approaching 50 laps on these tires, it looks like the bottom side might very well be starting to come in.
It was great to see side-by-side action as Scott Patton now drops to the bottom. He gave a little tap to the 9. Bit of a faster car right now, the 46, as he's looking at position on the 9, but he's going to have to do it the hard way to the bottom here as they continue to go door to door, and that is going to get real tangly here. Vern Margheim is back there, and he's got a full window of the action in front of him here as we see the 95 weaving in and out as they continue to go door Labrador side by side. This little group of cars is intense right now here on lap 96. 24 laps to go. They're ticking off pretty quick here as we take a peek. That is Scott Patton in the front of this machine. Help me out here.
Vern Markheim riding on board with him, and you can hear him just burp the throttle coming into the turns. That time letting off about halfway down the front stretch to make sure that he's got the front end of that car set up, and feels like he's got a fast car, but there's 3, 4, 5 cars right in front of him that he can't quite get around. You can see now all over the back bumper of that 46 machine. Oh, he's going to take it 3 wide. Oh, thinks better of it. Spotter said, hey, hang on, there's another car up there. So he's not at the throttle backed up, but definitely letting Scott Patton know that he's there.
And we got to apologize. We had some technical difficulty to our fans here tonight on the Dane TV. Generally, we have some scoring and we get a little bit more information up here in the booth, but we're going old school here tonight, and so we're doing our best. So when I yell out, help me out here, you got a little bit more information than I do.
Yeah, just a bit. A couple of little hiccups with the original timing and scoring that we used here, so we're throwing it back to what we used to use a few months back last year. Worked very, very well here at Dane TV. Just got to get everything tweaked out. Luckily, we got a couple of days off here in the old studio, so we'll get that all worked out, get the kinks all worked out, come back stronger than ever next week. Next week, Monday night, the Trans Service Cup Series for Sim 500 going to be joining us, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Jump in, Tim Terry and Kevin England calling all the shots from the commentary booth. A little doubleheader action next Wednesday night. Tim's Corner Motorsports going to bring us Tim's Corner Live, episode number 33. There's the 33 car on screen. How about that for a segue? Right after that, the Fatheads, or the Loose Lugs Cup Series, going to be racing here at 9 o'clock next Wednesday night. And then Thursday, right back here once again, kicking off round number 2 in the playoffs. Going to be starting a half hour early next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. A little Patent and Paint's pre-race show, say that 12 times fast. And we're going to be talking to some of the drivers up in the top 12 in points, a couple of race winners, and pretty much everybody that wants to hold on to the microphone for a second or two. Gives us an opportunity to really get up close and personal with some of these drivers.
It's a busy week, and it's always a busy week here at Dane TV, your premium iRacing simulator broadcast and commentary for the lot of series right across North America, even all the way up here in the Great White North and Newfoundland and Labrador. So we're excited to get back to some iRacing in the fall and into the winter, and of course all those great TCF special events. But I gotta say, Paul, man, I'm so excited that you asked me to be a part of the multi-league this season. I got really busy over the summer. I did miss a few of them with you, but it's great to be here for the playoffs. As these guys, incredible drivers. It's always great to see the respect on the track with even the lap cars here. It's actually incredible as we see.
Oh no, the leader!
I think I cursed it.
Well, we just saw Jeff Merck closed right up on that last gaggle of cars we were looking at. He was picking those cars up, putting them down. That was 5th on back to 10th, and he was really doing a good job getting on through there. And a little bit of contact there, 3 wide action. We're going to take a look at the Con Beerbong instant replay. Focus on that 123 car up on the high side. Here comes Jeff Merck down in the bottom. You can see kind of gets talent, and the 5 car gets up into the 123 and just ever so slightly bumps into the 60 car, spins him around, and bumps that safer barrier. That's going to slide him all the way back into 4th after leading by about 7 seconds. Going to hand the lead over to Wesley Holland in the 41 car. And I got a feeling, Mikey, we're going to see everybody down on pit road.
100%, unless someone's going to try to do a kamikaze here. But we'll see what happens here at pit road. Will some of them, opt for the 2 tires here, try to get out ahead, pick up some spots here? Will we see some hard chargers from the back of the pack here at our final pit stop? 10 laps to go here in Bristol, the last great Coliseum. It's Mike and Paul, 2 in the boot. That could be a T-shirt too, Paul.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list. Lots.
2 in the, and a picture of a boot.
A boot with a headset on it.
Ah, yes.
Beating the minds, but you can see everybody working their way down pit road on the lead lap, and the drivers out on track right now. The drivers that are 1 lap down or more, they'll be coming down next time by. And we're going to see who's taking 2, who's taking just a splash, who's taking 4. Right now, it looks like everybody's got the right side of the car jacked up. A couple of drivers electing there about mid-pack. It looks like everybody's going to take 4 tires here on with less than 10 laps to go. I figured somebody would have tried the gamble and take 2.
Yeah, I was hoping to see a couple of risk takers from the mid pack here to try to come up through and challenge this one. So we'll see what happens here as they stack them back up. We're taking a peek right now at the 41. If scoring is correct, Wesley Holland and Andrew Schulte on the front row here. Man, what a shakeup.
It actually looks like we might have a little bit of strategy. Kyle Chadwick did not having the race that he wanted to here tonight. Last down pit road, 67 laps ago. Stayed out on track. We'll see if he comes down. Nope, that pit road's closed. So it looks like Kyle Chadwick going to try and wing it here. 70 lap, almost old tires up in the lead. We'll see what he can do here. But taking a quick peek here through the field, looks like we got a moment. The lights are still on the pace car. So want to take a moment to talk to the 000 car, the 00 car, James Brown. You got some Sunday night racing action coming up, right?
Yes, we do. We'll be running the 87s beginning October 3rd.
October 3rd. If drivers out there, fans out there have the iRacing service and they want to get a part of it, are you guys open for new drivers? We got registration?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll run the league members. Any member of the multi-league is eligible to race with us.
Excellent. That's always fun. You guys race 27 days a week, 3 times on Sunday. Lots of racing, lots of racing action here. But we'll definitely have you on with the pre-race show next week. Get a little bit more information because lights are off. We're doubled up. It's time for you to get back to work.
All right. Thank you.
Good luck.
I was hoping he was going to give us his best James Brown impersonation on his exit there.
James Brown. Here we go.
Well,
there goes the pace car.
I got a funny feeling Chadwick's going to be on the high side, the low side, and block this run. But Schulte's going to get to that back bumper and give him a little push, little assistance as the 41 takes charge at the bottom. Here comes Ken Huber, almost 3 wide, but it's not. Nope, it's going to be 3 wide, and they're wrecking. Huber's out of shape. This is the big one here on lap number 114.
Everybody involved back here about mid-pack. We're stacking them up in a big way. Barney up in the flag stand, waving that yellow flag, making sure everybody sees it. But, man, we got spam all over the front stretch there in the 95 car. 5 laps to go. There's the leaders again. Jeff Merck took the lead before we crossed the stripe. Oh, we're going to have to back up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay for that one.
This might go to overtime just yet.
Definitely a possibility. We're going to have to take a look at this one from up in the choppa. See what we got going on here. We're going to focus in. There's the action up towards the front. You can see a little sideways action gets into Ken Huber from the 41 of Wesley Holland. Almost had everything sorted out, and then, well, there was some more cars there. And unfortunately, everybody kind of piling on in. There's James in the 00 car. Just talked to him. Just got back on the lead lap, it looks like. Now finds himself with a little bit of damage. So that's a tough break for a lot of these guys about mid-pack here. And I think you're right. I think we're going to be getting ready to set ourselves up for a green-white checkered attempt here at Bristol, the last great Coliseum. And, man, this is a quick race. 120 laps goes by like a flash.
Yeah, this one ticked off pretty quick. Couple of cautions here tonight. This is a 3rd caution. And I wonder if Chadwick's going to come down pit road here and grab 4 here and try to surprise this group.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. We got 14 cars, it looks like, here on the lead lap. So definitely a possibility. Might have seen some of that 88 come down, snag some tires real quick. But with 4 laps to go, probably 3 laps to go, maybe a total of 5 once we get it all said and done here. See what these drivers want to do and see who's going to come home with a victory and who's going to get the good points day heading into round number 2.
Well, we'll see who's going to be the kamikaze here, wreckers or checkers or wreckers here on this one. So I totally messed that one up.
Yeah, getting ourselves corrected a little bit last week. These drivers, it's not win and you're in for the rounds. It's strictly based by points. So each of these 3 races, whoever has the top X amount of points, those are the drivers that move on to the next round, and that adds a little bit of consistency to the mix. That makes sure that if you come home and win the first race in a round, you can kind of putt around a little bit for the next 2 or 3 races and then crank it back up. With this style and with the points only, it gives you the opportunity, or it basically forces you to have good, consistent runs all throughout all 3 rounds in the playoffs there. And see the lights are still on in the pace car, still getting the running order sorted out here, but definitely getting set up here for a green-white checkered at Bristol. One of the most exciting racing things that can happen in racing is a green-white checkered here at the Last Grace Coliseum.
100%. With the overtime, I think it's half track and cup. If the caution comes out, it's complete. But always big fan of the green white checker. 2-lap shootout here. Anything could happen. Keeping an eye on that 05 James Lehman at the bottom. But look who's out front. Cornflake action.
Jeff Merck up front, taking that high side for this, what could be the final restart. And you can see there's Schulte on the bottom side. Lehman is up there. Scott Patton is up there. Lots of drivers. James Hearns, haven't talked about him all night in the 78, solidly in the top 5 right now. Kyle Chadwick dropping back to 6th in that 88 car. He's got older tires, and we saw that a little bit jumbled up on the start there. But there goes Space Car. He's going to dip on down to the safety of pit road. Huge restart for Jeff Merck. He fires that thing off. You can see the 88 dropping back already with those old tires. He just needs to hold on to it. Popsicle sticks in the air, Mikey. 2 to go.
2 to go, and Lehman's hard charging now behind the back of the 46, trying to find a window as he gets around Schulte here. Lehman trying to get to the bottom on door-to-door right now with the 46, side by side, but Jeff Merck is the storyline here tonight. The 60 machine all the way up, takes the white rag, and he's going to take this one home.
Yep, he's going to take that white flag, white rag, and the checkered flag, bringing that thing home. A quick and dirty 2 laps, home free. Jeff Merck going to finish in first. Scott Patton second. James Lehman third. Andrew Schulte fourth, and fifth is going to go to James Hearns. And that's all she wrote here. We'll pull up the results there on your screen. You can take a peek at where your favorite driver finished. But a great run here for these drivers in the Multi-League Cup Series. Picking them up, putting them down, 120 laps, 123 laps or so done at Bristol. Great racing here, Mikey.
Man from Florida pulls another one here tonight, so it'll be interesting to see what he has for us on the podium here. We're going to have words with himself, Scott Patton, and look at that. Great to talk to James Lehman taking 3rd place here tonight.
Burning down those tires here in the number 1 position, right on the start-finish line, giving these fans here at Bristol Motor Speedway one heck of a show. And going to pull up the 2nd place driver, Scott Patton. Great run here tonight, Scott. 2nd place. This car looks strong. What did you need to get around Merck?
I don't think I had anything for him all night, right from the get-go. I saw him pull out on that long, that green flag run we had in the beginning of the race there, and I thought I was saving tires pretty well, and apparently not. He's got something figured out here. This is not my place, so congrats on him. Heck of a race all night, staying up front and avoiding those red, and he got shuffled back at one point, but P2, I will definitely take it behind Merck tonight.
100%, and a good points night here as well, because as we were corrected by the race officials up here in the booth, it's not winning you're in, it's points in and you're in. So definitely a good points night on to the next round for sure. And we're going to have all the points updates, and we're going to talk to some of the drivers in the round of 12 next week. Early start time of the Patented Paints pre-race show at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And it'll be great to be up heavy down here in the booth once again next week. But before we get there, got to give you the opportunity, give you the microphone, and thank anybody who makes it happen for the virtual 46 car.
Yeah, same old guys. Certainly Stone River Outfitters on the hood. Appreciate them as the headline sponsor of the league. You guys at Vidane TV. We've got a cancer support for our brother Kent Conley, who's fighting the big fight. We're thinking of him. And certainly, like I said, you guys at Vidane TV and everybody that helps out, and my wife upstairs who allows me to do this every week.
Absolutely, and still burning them down over there on the front straightaway is our winner, Merck. But congratulations, Scott. Great run here for P2 here at Bristol.
Sounds good. Look forward to the pre-race show next week. Catch you, Paul.
Scott Patton finishing in the second position. I'm going to slide you over to victory lane here. It looks like Jeff Merck, winner here tonight. Mikey, you got him.
Jeff, you got a copy?
I do, Mr. Mikey. What's up?
You took the big win on your birthday. I sang you happy birthday. Here you are in victory lane, but not just at any track, but Bristol. Take us through the beginning. What was your strategy coming in here? Did you think you're going to see a lot of mix there with cautions?
Yeah, I'm very surprised we only had the two. Normally, Bristol is, you pretty much run 10 laps, get a caution, run 10 laps, get a caution. That's kind of why I was running west so hard there at the beginning. I kind of wanted to get out front and kind of try to control the race. And then once I got out there, caution came out, went and got new tires, and pretty much controlled the race. Then got antsy with some lap cars, put it into the wall. Thought, well, just lost this race. And then I went into that corner, and they all started scattering, and I went low, and here I am, victory lane.
We were talking about, the strategy of weaving in and out of the lap traffic and the skill level it takes here on a short track like Bristol and at the speeds in the high banks. Were you on edge coming through that lap traffic?
Yeah, for sure, because, you don't want to key up and tell the guys, hey, give me this line, because, when you get in a big group of cars like that, they're racing for position too, so they don't care if the leader's coming or not. They're trying to gain as many spots as they can as well. So you have to kind of try to work through it. And I noticed there, like 3 laps, I think I lost like a second to Huber fighting lap traffic. So I said, well, I got to go because I'm leading that, I'm losing that big lead I built up. So I was like, well, it's time to push it a little bit. And then I think 2 lap cars got side by side me outside. They got together and it knocked me into the inside wall.
Well, you're focused that much that you forget how many cautions were in the race. It was more than 2. There was a couple more, but
yeah.
Great job, Merck. Take me through that final green, white, checkered. I don't know if you've done any drag racing before, but man, if there was a perfect light, you shot out of a cannon. Were you surprised at the rest of the field not coming with you?
Yeah, it's hard to guess when the leader's going to go, because there's always that delay. It's not like in real life where, they get a huge, they don't get that big a jump in real life because, the brain delay, all that good stuff. So you can get a good jump if you time it right. I think maybe a couple of the guys behind me might have been on 2 tires. So that might have had something to do with how far back they fell. But I knew on new tires, green, white, checkered, if I got up in the high line, it was going to be real hard to pass me.
Well, Merck, congratulations, man. Who gets it done for you? Who you want to thank tonight for putting you in victory lane tonight?
Yeah, big shout out to my teammates over here at Bandit Motorsports. I think we finished 1, 2, 3, 4 tonight, I think. Skeeter Performance Fishing Boats, Eat, Sleep, Fish. If you ever need a good bait boat, bass boat, get Skeeter up. Guys at Vidane TV, Scott Patton over at Patented Paints for painting this Skeeter boat paint job. All the teammates, the spotter, Chris, best spotter in the business. Last, but definitely not least, the loving wife inside, probably screaming at the TV when I got wrecked there. But, baby, we're bringing home the trophy, so be ready.
Mama's getting a new pair of shoes.
That's right.
Oh, it's Jeff Merck, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Do you get any fishing down in Florida throughout the off seasons and that?
Yeah, when I had the boat, I did a lot of fishing, a lot of tarpon fishing because they run down here. I'm just right down the road from Boca Grande, which is best tarpon fishing in the world. So I did that a lot. So man, I'm just happy because I've been since that Darlington race. I've been needing good points tonight. So I got a second place at Richmond and a win here tonight. So can't ask for much better than that in points, and hopefully that makes top 12.
Well, I think you're on a mission here in this playoffs. How about a yeehaw from Jeff Merck? Let it have it, Jeff.
Yeah. Ha!
The 60 taking home the win here tonight, man. Always the magic man here in the multi-league. I think you got James Lehman down there. Congratulations, Burke. We'll catch up with you again.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, that's going to be one heck of an after party. Still out there around the track celebrating with these fans here at Bristol. But we're going to catch up now with the third place driver of the Bullet, James Lehman in the 05 car. Finishes third. James, talk to us about that race, man.
Honestly, man, it turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. I mean, it's Bristol, you know. For us to only have, I think, what we had 3 cautions in total tonight is very impressive by the entire league. So it went pretty good, honestly. Especially finishing third after starting 15th. I honestly just came here with the mindset of just points, you know, trying to keep my nose clean because just trying to make it into the round of 12, and not have a mishap at all.
100%. Very clean racing action all the way throughout. Couple of squirrely situations, but the drivers here in the Multi-League Cup Series definitely a lot of talent throughout the fields. And we saw, I mean, one of the incidents, the leader was coming up on the fifth, the battle for fifth on back through 10th. And, well, there were just too many cars in the same piece of real estate. So whenever that happens, there's usually a little bit of an incident. And that's normal. So, and that's one of the things we saw here tonight. But good, clean racing action here with the Multi-League Cup Series. And coming home on the podium once again here, third place for the 05 machine. Good points night as well. I want to give you the opportunity to thank anybody that makes it happen for the Virtual 05.
Thanks to my wife. She allows me to do this and lets me do my hobby and keeps me happy. And literally, for me, Merck, Scott, and Andrew all pulling off the 1, 2, 3, 4 was actually very impressive tonight. And thanks to those guys for keeping me calm through lap traffic. And looking forward to next week.
For sure, good points nights and a great night for the team here at Bristol. And on to next week. We're going to be talking. We'll be talking to you before the race next week. Early start time here for us on Vidane TV for the Patented Paints pre-race show. Going to talk about the round of 12 and everybody that's going to be racing for this championship. So we will see you there.
See you, Paul.
And a great run again for the Bullet. James Lehman finishing third, and there you can see it. Jeff Merck on top. Scott Patton finishes second. James Lehman third. Andrew Schulte, teammates 1, 2, 3, and 4. James Hearns, Christopher Davis, Jason Hughes, Wesley Holland, Kyle Chadwick drops back to 9th, but that's better than where he was running with those old tires. And Vern Markheim, the regular season points leader in that 33 car. He's going to come home with that 10th place finish. And Mikey, we came into Bristol, now we're leaving Bristol, and we're on to next week. Great racing action here tonight.
Well, you know, I hope the rest of the teams are taking notes because this team is obviously putting the time into practice session, the setups of these cars. To come 1 to 4, that's pretty incredible. So great job from that team here tonight. Congratulations once again to Jeff Merck, who's always a pleasure to have in the booth in Victory Lane. So what a wild night, man. Little taste of what we'll see this weekend. Boy, am I ever excited for Saturday. Ryan Blaney going to be carrying my banner. Eastbound International Speedway. You guys better check it out, and hopefully Blaney gets into Victory Lane as well. So great night, Paul. Always a pleasure to be here at Multi-League.
Absolutely. And don't forget to watch that truck race at Bristol this weekend. The King of the North, Doug Kobe, Stafford Motor Speedway's own. Kobe. So much electricity at Stafford that night. Scott Patton was there. He and I shared ourselves a nice cold adult refreshing beverage. And Vidane TV always reminds you to drink responsibly. Take a quick peek at the schedule. We talked about it earlier on in the night, Monday night, Sim 500 Trans Service Cup Series. Getting down to the nitty-gritty with that championship. Going to be seeing those guys, Kevin King, Daniel Falkingham, and company, racing for that championship. And then Wednesday night, a little doubleheader action. Tim's Corner Motorsports, Tim's Corner live at 7 p.m. Eastern. Loose Slugs Cup Series right after that. They're getting into their championship hunt as well. And then next Thursday, early start time, 8 p.m. Eastern for the Patented Paints pre-race show here before the Multi-League Cup Series. And there you can see it, the NEP iRacing Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, longest name of a league in history. But still very entertaining. The Shift Neps guys are coming back October 5th. They're going to be racing at Daytona. And coming up next month, next 2 months, November, a little bit, probably the week before Thanksgiving, I think. November 20 is the date that's penciled in. The Vidane TV Bottle Rocket 350, presented by the Liberty Racing League. Going to have more information on that hopefully this weekend, working on the press releases and all that good stuff, trying to get some sponsors lined up. But we are going to have ourselves a big ordeal once we get into the November months. And lots of action coming up. NEPS is coming back. We got a bunch of leagues going for championships. And the very first week of November, going to be crowning not one, not two, three championships here on Vidane TV that week. And we're going to be going week to week to week to week till we get there to crown those champions, and you're going to be able to see it right here live on Vidane TV. But that's going to wrap things up here from the last great Coliseum here for the Multi-League Cup Series. Shout out to Stone River Outfitters up there in New Hampshire. If you're in the area, stop by. If not, check out the website. Check out the Facebook, the premier fly tying and fly fishing shop in the Northeast. Always good to support those that support our hobbies here in sim racing. But Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., Mike James from Up on the Rock. Be sure to watch the Bristol races this weekend on TV. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. When we do, we're going to be drinking
Bush.